Hi friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. I am so glad you are all here for me for the middle of January, and we have a fun video for you. So with all of that, let's get to crafting.
Okay, DIY number one. So I had this heart sign that I've had, I don't know how long, from Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove the love word there, and I'm also going to remove the paper. I'm just going to use my little Cricut spatula there just to kind of get the edge of the paper and rip it right off. After I had that first layer ripped off, I'm going to spritz it down with water and let it sit for a few minutes. Then I took this small heart from Dollar Tree and traced it out on some cardboard. And then I'm using my finger knife here to just cut it out. After I had it all cut out, I'm going to spritz the top layer with some water. I probably should have let it sit for a couple more seconds or a minute, but I'm just going to tear off that top layer, just kind of like I did with the hearts. I'm just going to get that all off so that the ridges of that cardboard shows up. And it did take a little bit. I did have to spritz it some more a little bit and to get all the little pieces off. I just kind of used my fingernails to get all those little pieces. But we just worked at it, and I just worked at it until I got it off. Then I took my paint scraper and scraped off all that extra paper from that big heart. Then I took my red or crimson color by Waverly and painted the cardboard heart just like you see. And I'm just painted the front. And then I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint in the color Cashew and I'm going to paint the big heart with it. And I thought about doing a light coat to make it look rustic, but instead I decided to go ahead and do my heavy coat. And then I took my Waverly antique wax and I went all around the edge of the heart and distressed it. Now, if you don't like distressing, you don't have to do this. I love it. And I've really been in the rustic mood lately. So I decided to make it a little more rustic. So then I took my Titebond glue, put it all around the back side of that cardboard heart, as well as some hot glue. And I'm going to glue it to the front of this heart. Then I'm going to take some rope from Dollar Tree and I'm just going to hot glue it all around my heart, my big heart there. And after I have that done, you guys, I was just playing this out in my mind as I went because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. So I grabbed some 20 millimeter half beads and I went over them with my Waverly antique wax. Then I'm just going to glue them all around that red heart. And after I had them all glued in, and I like using the Titebond glue because then if you need to move them around, you still have a few minutes to where you can move them to fit them in. I'm going to take some of this ribbon. I've had this in my stash for a while, but it came from Hobby Lobby at Christmas time. And I'm going to cut 2 strips down at 12 inches. And then one more strip I'm going to cut, I think it was 9 inches. And then the 12-inch strips I'm going to glue end to end, just like you see. And then after that, I'm going to take them. I'm going to scrunch one up in the middle, just like that. I'm going to take the other one and I'm going to scrunch that up in the middle and put it right on top of it, just like you see. Then I'm going to take the smaller piece and I'm going to fold it in half. And normally I use a zip tie when I do this, but I'm just going to use some twine this time. I put that folded half behind it and then I'm going to lay those tails down and tie a knot with some jute string around the middle of it to hold it all in place. I'm going to dovetail the ends by folding in half and cutting at an angle. And then I'm just going to hot glue this right in the middle of the red heart. And then I decided to go ahead and use some of my boxwood greenery. I love this stuff. It comes from Walmart. And I'm just going to glue it all in place on one side, on both sides of the bow. Then I just took some more of that ribbon and I'm just going to thread it through the hanger holes to make a hanger and tie knots on the back. And that's all I did with this one. I love how rustic it is. It can be used for Valentine's Day or it could just be up all year long. It doesn't have to be Valentine's Day. You'll have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below.
What? He's giving me the side eye look like, what are you doing, Mom? What are you doing? He's waiting for me to give him a TREAT. Watch. Treat? Yeah, that's what he's waiting for. Anyways, I am hoping you guys are enjoying today's video. It's been a blast, and we are headed straight into the new year. I keep thinking about all the things coming up. You know, we got spring and Easter and 4th of July, or I should say patriotic, because it's not just 4th of July, it's Memorial Day and stuff, summer stuff, and then back right into fall. It's just a a rotation that just never ends, it feels like. But it's fun. It's fun coming up with new items and ideas uh, and every day. And I'm going to try and do more every day. Let me know in the comment box if you would like that, more everyday stuff and maybe not as much um, themed stuff. I don't know. Anyways, just let me know in the comment box. And let me know in the comment box if there's things that you guys would like to see. I know I've asked this before and you guys mentioned things, and there's some things that I remember and it sticks in my mind. And there's some things that I just completely forget. And then I go back later and go, oh yeah, somebody said they wanted to see this. So don't think that I'm just ignoring you. Sometimes I just don't remember. So just, yeah, put in the comment box some of the things that you would love to see this year, and we'll see what we can come up with. So before we go, I just want to welcome you. If you are new, my name is Brenda, and this is my sweet, sweet, spoiled Oliver who needs a haircut. And if you are returning, you guys are the best. So before we get on with it, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure if you have subscribed, you're checking that subscription to make sure it's still up, because you know YouTube does this little thing sometimes where it unsubscribes you. And then make sure you like, comment, hype, whatever you want to do. It really does help me out. So with all of that, you guys, let's continue on with the video.
Okay, DIY number 2. So I have 2 of these mason jar signs from Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove those stars. I removed the hangers from them. And just like the first DIY, I'm just going to go ahead and remove the paper. And actually the paper came off really easy on these. Doesn't look like it right there, but it does. If you don't want to remove the paper, you could always use the back side and then cover up the front side with some shiplap paper or shipping paper or whatever. So after I had all that paper scraped off, I took some tumbling tower blocks and I'm going to lay them all around the edges of one of my mason jar cutouts. And then I had to cut a few of those in half or cut them up so that they fit better. Then I'm just going to take my Titebond glue and I'm going to glue those tumbling tower blocks all along the edge there, just making sure that they're right up against the edge. Nothing was overlapping. And yeah, and then after I had that all glued, I took my Titebond glue, put it on the top, and I'm going to take that other cutout and I'm going to lay it right on top, making sure I got that as even as I could. And then once I had it where I wanted it, I just went ahead and used some painter's tape to kind of hold it in place for a little bit, just while that glue dried, just to make sure that it had a good contact with the glue. And then I'm going to paint the whole thing with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Crimson. Once it was all painted, I'm going to take this stencil that I created with my Cricut. I found this on Cricut Design Space. I was thinking about this scripture, using this scripture, but I found it on Cricut Design Space, which made it so much easier, so I didn't have to create it. And I'm just going to lay it on the front of my mason jars. I'm taking my Cashew by Waverly, and I'm just going to take my stencil brush and pounce it all up and down all over my cutout here. And then I'm going to dry it. And once it was all dry, I removed my vinyl. And I do like to dry it beforehand. I find that if I remove the vinyl before drying it, a lot of times it pulls up the paint. Then I'm going to go ahead and remove all the little pieces that are in the letters. And then I decided I wanted to go around it with my favorite braided jute. I call it ribbon. I don't know what they call it on Amazon, but I love this stuff. If you've been with me for a while, you know I love using it. I do have it in my Amazon store, and the link for that is in my description box. Sometimes it's unavailable, but give it a few weeks and it's usually available again. So once I had that all the way around my mason jar, I just went ahead with my lighter and just kind of defuzzed it a little bit. I had these hearts that I made last year, but I didn't like the arrangement that I put them in, so I kept them out for this year, or for another time. I decided to use it this year. And I am just going to put some Titebond glue and hot glue on the back of the dowels, and I'll try and link that video at the end. So if you want to watch how I created them, you can. But I'm going to add the 3 of these inside of, or in between those 2 mason jars. That's why I did the tumbling tower blocks, so that I would be able to do this. And then I went ahead and added some more boxwood greenery inside of those mason jars, just to kind of fill it all up and give it a little contrasting colors. And after I had all the pieces in that I wanted, I'm going to take some of these burlap flowers. These came from Dollar Tree. Now these I thought were really ugly. They looked like weeds coming out the middle. They didn't look like seeds at all. So I decided to go ahead and cut them off. And then I just took some buttons that I had. These are a natural color. I didn't paint them. I got a whole bunch of these from Amazon. I glued them on the middle of my flowers, and then I'm going to take all the flowers that I'm going to use and glue them around the upper left-hand corner. Then I decided to take another flower. These have some ugly little diamond-looking gems on them, so I removed that, added a button. That looks a little more rustic and farmhouse like I like. I'm going to add that one there as well. And then decide to go ahead and add a few down on the bottom right hand corner. And then I'm going to make another bow with this beautiful ribbon. I'm going to do the same thing as the awareness ribbon, scrunch it up in the middle, tie some twine around it and hold it in place. And of course, I'm going to dovetail the ends as well. But before I do all that, I'm going to make a finger bow, a 2 loop, wrap my fingers twice, take that tail and go through my fingers and up around those pieces of string, and inside bring that through it, the loop that I just made, and tighten. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I glued that onto my ribbon bow and glued that to the right hand top corner. And then I'm just decided it almost stood by itself, but I felt like it was a little too wobbly. So I took some of the bigger blocks here that I have. You can get these at Five Below, or sometimes you can find them at Dollar Tree now. They're $3. I'm gluing 3 of them together and painting them with my crimson color. And then I'm going to use my Titebond glue here to glue it to the back so that we have a stand. And that's all I did with this. I really love how this came out. I had no idea what I was going to do. I started by looking at those little hearts that I had created before and thought, okay, what could I put them in? I didn't want to do another vase, wanted to do something different. And I love how this came out. I hope you do too. You'll have to let me know in the comment box below. Okay, it is a time for celebration of your recreations. And we have all these pretty pieces that Regina made for a craft show. I love them. That Merry Christmas one is really adorable, but I love them all, Regina. Thank you so much for sharing. And Corrine, oh my goodness, these are so cute. I love them. And she made those little ornaments. I think she said for her grandkids. They are adorable. And then Jane, look at all these lovely pieces that she made. I love them. That cross one is just stunning. Thank you for sharing that, Jane. And thank you, ladies. If you have something that you've created that you would like me to showcase, you can email pictures to my email address at rusticandlacediy@gmail.com, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Okay, DIY number 3. So for this one, I took a 12 by 12 wood sign. I think I got these from Woodpecker Crafts. You could also use the ones from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint it with Waverly chalk paint in the color Cashew. I'm going to paint both front and back. And then I took this beaded wreath form from Dollar Tree and this fabric that came from Hobby Lobby, and I laid it on top of the fabric, and I'm just going to trim all around my beaded wreath form. And then I'm going to, once I had it cut out, I'm going to fold it in half. I wanted it to be smaller, so I'm going to just cut it, fold it in half, and then cut it to make it just a little bit smaller. Plus it was a little uneven, so that's what I'm going to do. And then after I have it, I guess I'm going to show you myself cutting the whole thing. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I'm going to just cut that all out. And then I'm going to lay it out, and then I'm going to trace it with a pencil. That way I know where to put my glue. So I went ahead and traced one side. I'm going to go and trace the other side. It didn't have to be exact. I just wanted to know right where to put my glue. I'm going to use my tacky glue, Aleene's tacky glue, and then I'm going to lay that fabric right in that pencil lining and then just kind of smooth it out, make sure I have it all even. And then I think a little bit of the pencil was showing, so I just went ahead and used an eraser to erase it off. But then I went ahead and took my Titebond Quick and Thick multi-surface glue, and I'm going to glue all around the edge of that heart, and I'm going to glue the beaded heart on top of that. And then I'm going to take some painter's tape, and I'm just going to tape it down just to hold it in place for a little bit until that glue was able to set. And really, this glue is pretty quick. I'd say 5 minutes at the most, and it's pretty set. But then I decided I wanted to, some of the fabric was showing on one of the sides, and so I thought, okay, I'm going to cover that up by going around the edge, the outside edge, with this braided jute cord that I get from Amazon. I love this one too. And then after I had that on there, I thought, you know what? I think I want to go ahead and go around the inside of my heart as well. So I went ahead and glued that all along the inside of my heart, just like you see me doing. And after that, I was like, okay, what else do I want to do? Well, let's go ahead and glue this around my sign, because I just felt like that sign looked too plain. So I went ahead and glued that. And, but if you're going to recreate this, you want to make sure you make your hanger holes before you do that. So anyways, I have this ribbon I got from Martha. Thank you, Martha. And I took some of that fabric and tore it off. I'm going to cut 4 strips. They're 4 inches long. I took some of this ribbon from Dollar Tree and cut 4 4-inch strips. And I did the same with that beautiful lace ribbon from Martha. Then I'm just going to start making a messy bow. I'm going to make an X, and then I'm going to add one more. I like to do the 3, I don't know what you call it, the 3 different angles, I guess, and layer them. And I just keep layering them so that they're not all in the same position, so that it kind of gives it a little more definition, I guess. I don't know. Once I had them all laid out, I tied them together with some twine, and I'm just going to tie knots and cut off the excess string, and then I'm just going to glue it right to the top of my heart. I took these 2-inch wood letters. I got these from Amazon. You can also get them from Hobby Lobby, and I am going to hot glue the word love to the front of my heart. Again, this is something that you could have out for Valentine's Day or any time, because love is for any time, and these are not necessarily Valentine colors. And if you wanted to recreate this and make it for all year long, you don't even have to use these colors. You could use any color that matches your home decor. Anyways, I took some True Burgundy by Folk Art and gave a rough painting on this little heart, and I'm going to glue it in front of my ribbon or my bow. And then because I had put that twine around my sign, I couldn't get my big mouth crocodile over it. So I got this fall. It's almost like a little mini hand drill, and it has different bits that goes with it. I grabbed the biggest one that came with it, and I'm just getting it added. You just twist it, screw it and unscrew it to get it to hold, and then you just use your hand basically to be the drill, and you just twist it until it goes through. And it was really pretty easy. I saw Whitney with Crafty Thoughts and Whatnot had this, and I thought, oh, that looks like it'd be nice for instances like this. The only thing is I wish the drill bit was a little bit bigger, because I really struggled getting that piece of twine in there. This is the one that came off a hanger, so it had the little plastic on the end. But once I got it through, I was finished, and there it is. You'll have to let me know what you think about this one in the comment box below. Okay, DIY number 4. This is a really easy one, you guys. So I'm going to take one of these signs from Hobby Lobby. I got this in the fall, and I'm going to remove the hanger from it because we're not going to need that hanger. And then I took one of these frames from Dollar Tree, and I didn't paint it. I'm just going to use my Titebond glue to glue it all along the back, and then I'm going to glue along the edges too, but I'm just going to use my finger to kind of smooth out some of that glue so that way it doesn't really seep through all those holes. Then I'm just going to put it right in the middle of this sign. And then I took another heart from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint it with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Crimson. And then after it was all painted and dried, I'm going to use my Titebond glue all along the back. I'm going to glue it right in the middle of my frame. And again, all of these, you guys, I was just really struggling coming up with ideas. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on with me. Maybe I've got a little burnt out going on still. I don't know. But I just really was struggling with trying to come up with ideas. But I took my Waverly Antique Wax. I decided to just kind of distress that little frame a little bit so it wasn't so light colored. I took some of this. I've had this ribbon from the burlap ribbon from Amazon, I think it was. I have a huge thing of it. I hardly ever use it, but I'm going to make my awareness bow. And the polka dotted ribbon actually, I think, came from Hobby Lobby. I've had it in my stash for a while too. And then I'm just going to glue that right on the top. And then I decided, you know what? I think I need to glue some string from the heart to cover that hanger hole up to the top to make it look like it's hanging. And then I'm just going to glue 2 of the larger tumbling tower blocks together and use that as a hanger. I didn't paint it. That's all I did for that. And I think it came out pretty adorable for not having any idea what I was going to do. Anyways, you have to let me know what you think about this one as well. And the final reveal is coming right up. So let me know what was your favorite today and if you're going to be trying any. And if you're new and you enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that red subscribe button before you go. And you guys make sure you give me that comment, thumbs up, hype, all that fun stuff. I will be back again on Sunday with another video. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.